trauma bonding to these men and calling them your soulmate. They're not your soulmate. This is something I learned the hard way, and I hope that whoever needs to hear this message will hear it loud and clear. That man who is breadcrumbing you is not your soulmate. You may have intense feelings for this person. You may have had amazing time romantically in certain ways. It does not make you soulmates. If you're unclear of why you feel so passionately for this person, and yet why also they distance, they ghost you and come back, they block you, and then they show up, and you feel that it's a strong magnetic pull between you two. It's not. It's called trauma bonding. Let me explain how this works with new people. Because personally, when I heard the term trauma bonding a while ago, I assumed that it was because I was with someone for a long time and we'd been through a lot, and so we were trauma bonded together in a dead relationship because we had been through so much together. That is a form of trauma bonding, but I didn't realize is that you can easily trauma bond to someone new after a relationship like that is over. Trauma bonding can also happen with new people fairly quickly. If your last relationship deprived you of emotional safety, so that could be you express your emotions and your partner tells you you're being too much, you're too emotional, you shouldn't feel that way. If that's what you were told when you got emotional or wanted to talk things out, that was emotional unavailability from that partner. If the bedroom was a chore for your partner, you felt essentially that you were a burden and your needs weren't important, and that person didn't want to please you the way you wanted to be pleased and had no desire to make you feel special romantically, you were essentially deprived of physical touch, of physical safety. And if your partner, when you got excited about wanting to try something new or go for that promotion at work or go for a new job or start a new hobby or make new friends, they tried to talk you out of it and they told you, why can't you just stay the same? Why can't you just be the same person I've always known you to be? Why do you have to go and do these things? You're just gonna quit, you're gonna fail. Okay, that person didn't care about you. That person didn't want you to expand and grow, and essentially that person had you in a desert wasteland of support. They were not supportive. So you can lack intimacy, you can lack emotional stability, and you can lack essentially the presence of a partner. If you felt lonely in a relationship, they were checked out. And so I happen to have all three of those in my 9-year relationship. Now, it wasn't the entire time, but definitely the last few years felt like that. And when you're in a relationship like that and you get out of it, that first person to give you what you were missing can feel spiritually connected and guided, that, oh my God, this person's meeting my needs. But think of it this way. You were in a desert wasteland for many years, or a year, or even 6 months. You're with someone who deprived you of everything you needed. And then all of a sudden, you meet someone. And maybe he doesn't check or she doesn't check all the boxes, but oh my God, we have the best, deepest conversations. They think I'm the best person ever. They love my goals and my ambitions. Suddenly, you feel like this person's meant for you. They understand you. Or you meet someone and sparks fly and you've never had better bedroom time than you've ever had in your life, and it's amazing, and you feel like, oh my God, this must be what it looks like when you find your soulmate. I think I found the one. And you've only known the mother effer for 1 month, a week, 2 weeks. You meet someone in a professional setting and you have aligned goals and they're cheering you on and they're supporting you in a very professional way. Then all of a sudden you start developing feelings because your last partner you were with didn't see you, didn't see your value, didn't see your potential. And this person, we're talking about coworkers here, just thought you were the bee's knees. And you just feel so great around that person. And you mistake that for romantic connection. In all these scenarios, fantasy has begun to take over. So reality is, I'm having a great time with this person in the bedroom, or this person sees my worth and sees who I am, or this person and I have such deep, meaningful conversations. I am so connected to these people, they're amazing. What you're doing is it's almost like you've been parched, you've been in that desert, and all of a sudden it feels like a fire hose. You're getting your needs met in one way or another, and you're translating that from, oh my God, there's such a great connection, it must be my soulmate, or I feel so seen, this one must be the one. What I'm here to tell you is, when fantasy starts to take over and you start thinking like more about this person, and you start fantasizing about how much they must care about you because of this and that, and how much they see you, how much they're making you feel, what's happening is, because of the trauma of your last relationship where you were completely deprived of every aspect of everything you needed, and all of a sudden you're getting, at least partially, some needs met, and they're watering that for you, you're getting attached. If you let your fantasy take over and make things more than they are, whether it's your professional connection that sees you, sees your worth, whether it's that guy you met who's rocking your socks, or it's that new friend who you have these really great conversations with, you're gonna start fantasizing and making it more than it is, because you have been deprived and emotionally neglected for years, or a year, or months. It doesn't matter, it all feels the same. So what I'm here to tell you is, you need to let actions speak louder than your fantasies in these situations. Is this person actually showing up for me? Is this person actually pursuing me? Is this person actually doing other things to show that they actually care about me? Or am I taking this one thing where they make me feel really good, and I'm imagining a whole life with this person, and that we're divinely connected because I finally feel seen? And I'm here to tell you that possibly that person could be, but most likely, if you're coming off a terrible relationship, an emotionally draining relationship, or if you've been single for a very long time and suddenly Mr. or Mrs. Perfect comes out of the blue and you feel an intense connection with another human being, take a moment to pause and stay in your body. How do you actually feel around them? How does it feel to be in their presence when they're not around you and they're communicating or not communicating with you? How are you feeling? Are you on edge? Are you on eggshells? Are you anxious? Or do you feel grounded? Does your nervous system feel good? Do you feel soft around them? Do you feel safe and connected when they're not talking to you and not in their presence, because you just know they're going to show up for you? If your body does not feel amazing with and without them in front of you, chances are you are trauma bonding yourself to that person. And it happens, like it happened to me. And what you need to do is start taking control of your thoughts. Don't let yourself fantasize. Don't let yourself make up stories when you find yourself thinking about that person. Fantasy is a coping mechanism to help soothe your nervous system. And if you're using that person in your fantasy to help soothe your nervous system, you're creating a connection and a bond to that person without them even having to do anything. And the only thing that's going to keep you from trauma bonding to someone who you're dating, who you really like, who you're having a connection with, is to take a step back and just see what they do. And I'm not talking about playing games. I'm talking about pay attention to their actions. Do they pursue you? Do they make plans to see you? Do they stay in communication with you? Or is it that when you're not in connection, they kind of ghost you? They're doing their thing, they're enjoying their day, and they just see it as a friendship. Or they just see it as, that person and I, we hook up every once in a while and it's fun, but I don't want anything more than that. Are you reading into things? And when you start to separate reality from fantasy and you start to control your thoughts, you're gonna be less vulnerable to trauma bonding to a new person. And you'll be able to really settle into your own nervous system, pay attention to your body signs, and pay attention to exterior actions and see if they're aligned, and create a healthy relationship moving forward. It's hard to start over again, especially when you feel like this person can give you what you've never had or what you've always wanted. But I'm here to encourage you to trust yourself. Start focusing on self-love and fulfillment within yourself, so that when someone new comes in who starts checking your boxes, you can stay grounded and you can let their actions do the talking, and don't overgive and match their energy and see where it goes. Stop letting yourself over fantasize about where this could go, and just let it happen naturally, slowly. And you've got this. If you want me to continue talking on this subject, drop a comment, or if you found it helpful, let me know. You got this. I love you, and we're all in this together.